Okay,
Do you want to do your welcome to the
good.
future comment?
Yes, if you're watching this in the future, welcome. We're here with Quentin Hernandez of Qhue, New York. You also call your brand Qhue Lifestyle.
Yes.
What else? What else is involved in the Qhue Lifestyle other than perfume? I suppose would be the obvious question.
So we also have candles and home diffusers at the moment.
Okay,
Oh,
nice.
awesome.
We're kind of jumping to the end right at the beginning. Are there other plans for a lifestyle brand?
There definitely are other plans to extend the product offering, but kind of all centered around fragrance.
Awesome.
Very cool. I love how organized your materials are.
Hey,
Yeah.
I take that quite personal. That was a personal shot at me, Quentin.
Oh, yeah. Listen, it's actually only this part behind me. There's usually a mess. So
Yes. See, all of us creative geniuses make messes, love.
Yeah, that's okay.
But now I consider myself a creative genius
Yes.
only because of the mess. All right, so we're going to hang for a little bit before we dive in too deep and just
Welcome everybody
let folks show up
on TikTok.
Checking that.
If you guys want to not look at a computer monitor, if you're on this TikTok, you can actually join us live on YouTube.
Mr. and Mrs. Sniff.
Mr. and Mrs. Sniff, or Instagram, or streaming live in all three places.
Yes.
But TikTok won't integrate with Restream for some reason right now. It's being particular. So, Christian. Hi, Christian. Ange is here. Hi, Ange.
Hello, everybody.
Rebecca's in here. Excellent. A bunch of people.
Good. Well, I'm always impersonal and impolite and just like to start smelling things. So I'll let you start with the human element. Because you care about people.
Like the small talk element?
Or like the
friendly, normal human behavior element?
Before we're like, oh, Quentin, let's just start smelling your stuff. Never mind you. I am really excited to smell this stuff again.
Yeah.
I am. If you guys have not, this is a sample set, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you have fixed sample sets.
Yes.
Okay. So
you have multiple sample sets, right? Because there's this one, this fancy one.
Yeah, there's just the two right now.
Empire.
Yeah, there's just those two right now.
Okay. The Empire collection and then like the main line.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the difference between them is the Empire collection are extrays, right?
Yeah, and the other ones are just
and these are EDTs. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, do you think we have Stan's in here, Cole's in here? Hi,
all
guys.
The regulars are here. Rebecca's in there.
Yes. Hello, Rebecca.
Yeah, let's dive in.
Okay.
Well, we met in December very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
And yours was one of the last booths that we got to over the 3 days.
Yeah, because you were always slammed.
You were slammed. I was going to say, not because we didn't try. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I was way in the back. I was way in the back.
You were way in the back.
It took a little moment to get to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it a successful weekend for you?
It was a great weekend. Yeah, it was a great weekend. It was the first year that I presented the brand at Cinexplore. But it was received very well, and people seem to like it. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, nice. How long has the brand existed?
So I launched in 2022.
Oh, awesome.
So very new.
It's always so funny to me to hear from perfumers how long it takes to get from when you launch it to when people start hearing about it.
Yeah.
It can take a few years.
Well, I mean, technically, I started working on the brand prior to the pandemic. And then in 2021, I kind of did like a soft launch sort of. And then 2022 was like officially, the business launched officially.
Yeah, in amazing. What were you doing before perfume?
So my background is fashion. I worked in fashion for about 10 years on the design and creative side.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I like to implement some of those elements into my work in perfumery as well.
I mean, your bottle, people are going to have to Google you to see the bottle design,
but
the bottle design is very unique. Oh, or you can hold it up.
Yeah, I have. This is the X-Straight one. I don't know if you can see it in this light, but
they come in like a little, I don't know what to call that.
Oh, yeah. All very textured. Nice.
I remember that from Scent Explorer, thinking that was really cool.
Yeah, and those are, it's the whole idea behind the packaging is that it's supposed to be functional, but also decorative.
Yeah.
So the idea is that, as a perfumer, that keeping the fragrance from light, holds the integrity of the fragrance a lot longer. So the idea was just to kind of house the fragrance in its own like little vessel so that it protects the integrity of the fragrance while
Nice.
also creating something that stands out and looks different from all the other thousands of brands out there.
Yeah.
It's something that you put on your mantle or your dresser or in your bathroom or
Right.
wherever.
I know it's popular for people to say, well, all that really matters is the juice. And I suppose there's some truth to that. But like, I love looking at stuff. I mean, to me, the visual element of it is every bit, well, not every bit. It's
a big part of it.
It's a part of it, for sure. It's a part of the experience. Yeah.
Part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So fashion, what made you switch to perfume?
Scent has always been very personal for me. I think it's like one of the greatest compliments that you can receive, someone telling you that you smell good, And so it's just always been something very personal to me. I used to make scent. I started out like just making scents and experimenting on my own, and I would get compliments from friends and colleagues. And so then I decided that I wanted to create it and turn it into something that was tangible.
Yeah.
And so I started working on formulas and like really, just learning everything I can about perfumery because I'm a self-taught perfumer. And so just buying materials, working with a lot of raw materials and extracts and, all these different elements that we use in perfumery and just creating my different scent combinations until I found something that worked and was beautiful and, went from there.
Did you start with naturals to begin with?
I did. I mean, I still primarily use a lot of naturals in the formulation. But as you know, with perfumery, you need to have some synthetic elements in it, to have the have the longevity and all the things that people want in fragrance. And so I like to do a mix of both.
Yeah.
Cool. Which one was your first one?
Lamberwood.
Are they in here? Which one?
It is Lamberwood. There was actually a trio. Because I like to introduce them in threes. Three is like a special number for me, so I always introduce them in threes. But the very first one that I worked on was Lamberwood, and then the other two was Smoky Vanilla and Citrus Bloom. That was like the first.
Those are my favorites.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I remember smelling the Smoky
These
Vanilla.
two are ridiculously good.
I do remember that.
I don't remember this one as much, but I remember these are my standouts: the Smoky Vanilla and Citrus Bloom. I think this is a really nice vanilla. It's very unique to me, and I've smelled a lot of vanillas. We all have. You want to spray something?
Well, again, I always want to sniff, but
do you have perfumer questions?
I've got all kinds of questions for the man. That's why I don't want to get too distracted because I know once I start spraying, like my mind is just going to go like
sniffing,
right into the zone. Yeah, I just want to hear a little bit more. I'm always curious about the perfumer origin stories. And I mean, you're from New York. Did you grow up there?
Yeah, I grew up here.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you guys are based where?
We're in Denver.
Yeah, I'm from the East Coast though.
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Where?
I'm from Boston.
Okay.
Just south of Boston.
You're close.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't have the accent though. I don't like the accent.
Except when you say aquatic.
Aquatic. For whatever reason, that word comes out very strange when I say it.
Are you from Denver?
Not originally. I grew up in Phoenix, but I've been coming up here. My dad's lived here since I was a kid. So I was always coming up when I was young and visiting. And I've been here full time since 2008.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's home at this point.
Nice.
Yeah,
I have to visit there someday.
Yeah. Well, when you do, you have to let us know.
Yeah, there's going to be a perfume shop here.
Finally.
This summer, just opening. Where I'm going to meet this woman. We are going to meet this person who's opening it. I don't even remember her name, to be honest. And when we do meet her, we'll be telling her about all of our friends.
All of our favorite
brands.
brands.
These people. Do you have your perfumes in multiple shops, or where are they?
So I have a lot of my home stuff in some boutiques and some hotels and things like that. The perfumes I'm still working on finding homes for the fragrances, but I am just starting to work with a company on the distribution side. And so hopefully soon you will see them in your favorite retailers.
Awesome.
Yeah. So in the meantime, are you shipping from your house or from your office?
So we have our warehouses in New Jersey, and
Oh,
so they ship from there.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Um, the more brands and folks we talk to, the harder we realize it is to get your brands in stores. Like you're
It's
competing with
it's
so many people.
it's so hard. And then in the US there's only like maybe 10,
Yeah.
10 perfume like specialty stores that sell perfume.
Yeah.
And so it's extremely difficult, and if you don't have a lot of people talking about it, if you don't have you know
Buzz.
a lot of buzz around it, then a lot of these stores are not even interested in hearing about it. So that's a challenging part. But the home stuff has been a lot easier for us to get in, like luxury home stores um, and things like that. So we're in several boutiques on that side, and some of those stores also carry the perfumes as well. But none of the perfume stores that we all know in the U.S. at the moment.
Yeah, not yet. Lucky Scent and ZGO and all those ones.
Yeah,
I know. We're really learning that it's very much about who you know.
it's all about who you know. It
Yeah.
is all. And the funniest thing is I was having this conversation with the distribution company that I'm partnering with, and I'm like that, they were telling me how, oh, we've been showing it to people at, this store and these stores, and they love it. They think it's so beautiful and they love the scent. And I'm like, I've emailed these people. Like,
Yeah.
I know.
you know, and it's just like it's all about who you know and who's going to these buyers or stores.
Yeah, you're not alone. You're not
Yeah.
alone. I mean, I feel like there should be a message board for brands, brand directors, and perfumers to get on and to like, what's the secret to getting this person to listen?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Who do
You
I
know,
need to connect to even be able to get in the front door for even a face to face?
yeah, it's who it's like you just have to know the right people, and someone has to finally discover you and be like, this brand is cool, you should put this in your store. And most
Yeah.
times it works out that way.
Where are you in your sort of discovery process, the arc, like in terms of brand visibility? And I mean, you've told us obviously you're not in any of the major retailers yet, but a lot of smaller indie brands, they'll become very good sized and making a lot of sales and have a decent presence and visibility in the community without ever really being in retail stores. Depending on what it is they're trying to accomplish.
Hmm.
I think of another, New York guy, Mark Sage with Clandestine Laboratories, guys like Darren Allen who, you know, have never really sort of busted into the retail scene, but still do a lot of turnover and volume. Where are you
Yeah,
in
no, I mean, I do good volume on my website, and do trade shows and trade events and
Mm.
pop-ups and things like that, and so we get the product out there to the consumers that way. um, but yeah, I mean, through the website, I mean, discovery sets work great. People that want to try it, they can try it that way. And people who feel confident in the notes that we list on the website, sometimes they just directly buy a full-size bottle. So it's within the last 6 months, it has definitely picked up online a lot better. So no,
That's
it's
great.
been
Yes,
going well.
we can still, by the way, we can see you okay,
My
Quentin.
light keeps going out. I don't know.
Yeah, when it does that, it's actually you're
it's not a big deal.
it's not
Now you
bad.
can still see
Yeah,
it. Oh,
we can still see you just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so soft launch around pandemic. How long had you been teaching yourself perfume? I'm curious about that development.
so I started probably like 2015, 16. I was
Okay.
still working in fashion at the time, and I would simply just make fragrances for myself. And one of my very good friends he would always like, "Where'd you buy that? What is this fragrance?" And so at the time, even prior to really thinking about turning it into a brand, I was like, "Oh, I just was like playing around making stuff." And I was like, "Oh, you like it?" And he's like, "I love it." He's like, "Where can like make me one?"
Oh,
And
cool.
so that was kind of what started the whole process. And then I thought, I had always wanted to start my own brand, and so I thought, well, this would be a great, introduction to like the world of Qhue.
Mm.
So I told as a creative, because I come from fashion. It's always been very important for me to know how to make something, even when it comes to like design, or clothing or whatever or packaging. I I'm very obsessed with knowing how to make that finished product. And
Mm.
so when I started to get into perfumery, it was the same process. I was like, okay, if I'm going to do it, I need to know, how do I get this fragrance to be from point A to point B, you know?
Was there a specific point in time when you either like realized you had fallen in love with it, or realized that, hey, I'm actually pretty good at this, and this might be more than just sort of a get to know how to do it sort of thing?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think that came at several different times. I feel like when I first there was a moment when I first did like my first drop, and I thought, oh, people, I think it's pretty great. And then people were responding very well to it. And then it was like a dry period. So then I thought, well, maybe it's not as great as I think it is. Then and then I did one of my first big shows in Florence,
Oh,
and I was like hammered with how many people were like stopping at my booth and wanting to try the fragrances and were saying such positive things. And I was like, oh wow, people really like it. So
Mhm.
it was like ebbs and flows, you know. It was like there was
yeah,
moments
sure.
where I was second guessing myself, and there was moments where I was like, okay, yeah, people really respond well to it. And so um does that answer the
Yeah,
question?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Is this your full-time job? Do you get to do this full time?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did that happen? I mean, that's a pretty big inflection point, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, it happened when I launched.
Oh.
I left fashion in 20 right before the pandemic. And so the plan had always been to like quit my job and like really focus on this 100%.
So it was do or die for you? Well, it wasn't like, let's slowly build this up and then shift when the ship is afloat. It was like,
I mean, initially that my at that time prior to the pandemic, I thought, okay, I'll keep my job in fashion for a little bit and I'll work on this, and as it takes off I'll quit, because I had already been wanting to quit that job anyway. Then the pandemic happened and
Yeah.
that like changed a whole lot of things. And so um once things started getting better, and I had already started like putting my mind to this, I was like, I don't want to go back to working and putting all of my energy into another company.
Mm.
I'm going to put my energy into something that I really believe in and that I want for myself. And
Mm.
so
That
um,
takes so much courage.
it really does.
it does, and it's very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been lucky, so it's been going well.
That's awesome. Wow. How did you actually learn the art of perfumery? So I know you're self-taught, but
Yeah.
how did you
That
start?
means something different for everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like perfumery is like any other creative, you know, um, job or um, talent. It was literally all by trial and error. Reading a lot of stuff about perfumery, and I'm a very hands-on person, like I said
Mm.
before. And so it was just getting into my lab and just trying things, mixing different elements together, creating different combinations, and just seeing what works. Figuring out, how can I make this scent last longer? How can I get it to stay on the skin? How can I get it to project more? And just constantly trying different formulations. And the first year, it was a lot of trial and error. But I felt like I created some pretty good scents. And then but now I'm working. And at that time, I was ordering materials from all over the place.
Yeah.
And that also was somewhat of a problem, because you're ordering sandalwood from here and you're getting
Yeah.
it from here, and then before you know, you're like, hey, wait, it doesn't smell like the
Right.
sandalwood that I got from this place. So then you start having issues with the formulations not feeling exact, not being the same, or there being differences or whatever. And so now I'm working with a pretty famous fragrance house in Europe, and I source all of my materials now from them.
Oh,
So
great.
more consistency
Nice.
um, and stuff like that. But yeah, it really just started out with trial and error, just trying, things, and just not being afraid to do it.
Yeah.
We have a
Mhm.
good question here. Chris Talk is asking, What aspects of running a fragrance business were completely unexpected?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of them. Um, Definitely the fact that, I mean, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna you're gonna spend money. You're gonna waste money. You're gonna lose money. Um, and I guess not to be afraid of those mistakes, like to learn from them.
Yeah.
And so, ask me the question one more time.
Well, which elements were maybe unexpected? Like, what did you not think was going to be a part of running a
Running a
business,
business.
or
Yeah.
ended up being different than you expected?
I guess probably getting into retail spaces. That has definitely been the retail spaces and also press. That has been a very, very, very hard thing to do on your own. It goes back to that thing of like either you have to have someone on your team that is very well connected in those spaces or whatever. But those have been the biggest challenges for me.
Yeah, I didn't even think about press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like, my sense of it. I don't know how true this is for other people, but it's like you go into it thinking, well, the hard part is learning how to make a good perfume, and it's like once I've made a good perfume, then
Everyone's gonna want to
ta-da,
buy it.
everything's taken care of, and doesn't really
No,
work that
no.
way.
I mean, you can make the most amazing fragrance, and like if you don't have those other components,
Yeah.
working with you, it goes nowhere. And
Oh my
so,
goodness.
I always kind of felt pretty confident in my ability to complete the fragrance, but getting it out there, getting it in front of the consumer, getting it in front of PR people, getting it in front of the buyers and stores, that is like a whole nother animal.
Yeah.
You know, and so you're competing with hundreds and thousands of stores all over the world. So that has definitely been a challenge. But you
Yeah,
just have
unless you for some reason have like a natural affinity for social media.
and I
Yeah.
don't. As you can
Or
tell,
just socializing in general,
Yeah.
being like, which is not my thing either. Like, I'm not a,
no,
networky, like
I'm not.
schmoozy.
I'm terrible at that, and people
Yeah.
think that I'm like not friendly, but I'm like,
Yeah.
but I'm just not good at social media. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm a little bit too critical on how things look, and so sometimes I'll be like, oh, I don't think it looks good enough, so I won't post it or I won't put it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's like the
Well,
opposite of what you have to do on social media.
Right.
I mean, coming from a background in fashion, that makes sense to me that you would be more analytical of that than if you had no like Noah and I, zero editing skills,
Yeah.
zero social media experience. We have no expectations of ourselves.
It's kind of nice.
So we're like ignorant basically.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was in an industry where appearances really matter, that would be harder, I think.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I don't know if this plays into it, but I'm a Virgo, so I'm
Yeah.
like extremely like everything has to be like done a certain way, and so
Yeah.
it's very challenging for me to do the social media stuff, and to it's just that's a challenge for me.
Mhm.
Yeah. You have to have some, yeah, level of tolerance for imperfection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to sniff.
Okay. You want to sniff the first
Yeah,
one?
well, let's let Quentin kind of steer. How do you like people to experience your house? Is there a progression? Is it chronological? Is it intensity? Like when you're doing a whiskey tasting, you don't start with the heavy peated Scotch. You start with the white wine, and then you go on to.
I mean, there's honestly you can go in whichever direction you feel like. But I maybe start with the first three and then go
Yeah.
with different launches.
Yeah, well, let's start with, and it was Lamberwood. That was it. That was
Yeah.
the first one.
Uh-huh.
All right.
What was the inspiration?
So this fragrance, I wanted to create something that was a bit sensual and erotic, something that was musky and woody, a little sweet but not too sweet, and so it
God,
was
that's good.
like creating a very sensual, sexy scent.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think of it as more masculine or feminine leaning?
Initially, I did think of it as more masculine leaning, but like when I do shows, at least when I did shows in Europe, I'll say women loved that one.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
I think it's all geographical. Like it just depends where you are and what the women or men like in different parts of the world. But initially, I did think it was more masculine leaning. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
I
it's
don't
got
like,
a kind of vintage feel
Yeah.
to it in the opening anyway.
yeah, but I don't like to put a gender on the fragrance. I mean, if you like woody, musky scents, then
This
or
is
if you
for
like
you.
more floral, then it's for you. You know, it just depends what you like.
Yeah. Now, is this the one that you were wearing around and your friend was like, "I like this"?
At the show.
No,
Um,
way back.
oh yeah, actually yeah.
It
Was it?
is. Wow.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean there's a little just the tiniest bit of kind of funky, skunky,
Yeah.
you know,
I see why the
you
Europeans
say
like it.
musk. Is there civet in here?
No.
So it's just
There's
musk.
there's just musk in that one. Yeah.
Yeah. But it gives a little bit of that kind of old school masculine, um, just the tiniest bit animalic vibe to it that's really beautiful. I mean, it's very much my style.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Stan's asking what this is called. It's called Lamberwood, Stan, and I think you would like it.
We can actually hold. You can't see if I hold it the other way, but if you hold it that way and then give me a hand.
I will help you.
Just put your hand behind there. Lamberwood, as in La Amberwood.
The packaging.
Oh wow, look at that.
See, Stan does not look elegant.
What are the fruity notes in here?
So there's a little guava. There's lavender. That's a floral note in there. Let me pull out my.
Yeah, give us the rundown for folks. I guess I can pull it up on my phone here as well.
Yeah, so there's little mandarin. There's the little. That's actually a note that I didn't list, but guava's in there. Mandarin, lavender. There's jasmine, amber, sandalwood, cedar, and musk.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I would wear this like date night,
Mm-hmm.
but I can see him wearing this.
Yeah, it's nicely balanced, and you call it amberwood, which might trigger some people, but it doesn't smell amber woody in terms of like
Yeah, it doesn't smell like super ambers.
ambers chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What is your feeling about super ambers? Do you like to use them in your perfumes?
It depends. I mean, I use a lot of like pure ingredients, but it depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I'm always curious.
God, that's really good. It again, there's this familiarity to it, but it's sort of defying genres. It's not quite a fougere, but the lavender along with the slightly musky note gives it that old school kind of masculine fougere vibe.
It's probably not a fragrance for a teenager.
No, that's pretty mature. That's a good call.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these other ones, though, like smoky vanilla.
You think those are young?
No, not young. Just that a young person might be drawn to it.
Gotcha.
Because of the profile.
Let me pull up. So this was the very first one you did. That's a hell of a start right there.
Thank you.
There it is. And guys, his stuff is priced. His core line is like exceptionally priced. So 100 mLs for $225. God, I might have to.
It comes in that cool little protector. You gonna put it on?
Yeah,
that's what you did last time when we smelled through this.
Did I?
I'm putting this on.
This.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed. Jesus. All right, I gotta take my watch off. I just sprayed twice, and neither one of them landed on my skin. It's my first time wearing perfume, everybody.
I'm just leaning back because I don't want it to go in my eye.
Yeah. Well, I keep being drawn to this one, so this may have to be
the bottle.
My bottle, first bottle from the house. Yeah. Oh, it's really
nice.
It's very seasonal right now. Like it's very spring appropriate.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I guess because of
the lavender, and there's a fresh quality to it.
The aromatics.
Yeah, it's not a real dark, heavy amber.
That's definitely a scent I feel like you can wear throughout the year.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm in love with that one. All right. What next?
Let's talk about smoky vanilla, which is my favorite.
Smoky vanilla.
These came out all together?
Yes.
They did. Okay.
So what was the inspiration for this one?
Um, you know, I this so my when I was younger, my grandfather he used to smoke a lot of cigars, and his home used to kind of have this like vanilla but like cigar kind of smell to it. And I always thought of my grandfather as being this very like elegant, like chic man, you know. And so when I was thinking of a scent that kind of embodied that, that was the first thing that came to mind. And so that's why I played with those notes in creating that scent.
Um, there's
Mm.
quite a bit of leather in here. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, this to me smells as much like a leather scent as it does a vanilla.
Yeah. So there's definitely leather. There's leather in there for sure.
In a
There's,
brightness.
yeah. So there's a brightness and there's a bit of a citrus note in there to kind of brighten that vanilla up.
Yeah.
Uh, you have that leather, you have those tobacco notes, you have some benzoin, vanilla, there's oak moss, amber,
I
cedar.
told you, it's amazing.
Do you like that on you?
I do.
Do you like it more on me? Can that one also be mine?
Where do you want to put it?
Hand. That's good. Wow, that's really nice.
It is
Yeah.
so nice. I love it. I think it smells it's a very unique smelling vanilla, and it has almost like a creamy, it's not really a milky smell. It doesn't make me think of like lactonic, but that texture,
Hmm.
the kind of smooth texture.
It is. It's very. It's suede-y. The leather is kind of a smooth suede like.
It is actually, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Very very like inoffensive. But again, there's
Yeah, yeah,
this
you have a good
slight
nose. Noah.
vintage.
It probably smells better on you.
Yeah.
Rebecca says, "Don't fall for it, Jamie. You're going to steal another one."
Rebecca's on to me. Yeah, there's. I mean, were you a lover of vintage fragrance? Because again, we're only two in, and to me, there's something that's
It was inspired by his grandpa.
well, I get that,
So he
but
was going for that old
Yeah,
gentlemanly
yeah.
vibe.
For that one specific, for sure, definitely.
you were okay.
Do you like old school smells though?
I do, yeah, I do.
What's your favorite one?
Oh, that's a hard question. But if um, this is probably gonna sound like a little bit tacky, but when I was like in high school, I used to wear that fragrance Curve a lot.
Yeah, that was Noah's first
That was
one
my-
too.
Really?
Yeah, we
Where's
got a
the
vintage bottle
bottle?
somewhere.
And so like I just remember being in high school drenching my clothes with
Curve.
with that with
I think it's over here somewhere, but I don't know where.
Oh, it literally felt. That's my pipe. You moved everything.
I didn't move it all up. Oh no, this is the ADHD.
Oh, yeah.
Stressed out.
There it is.
Yeah. Here's his little.
I haven't seen
Right.
that bottle in years. Let me see. Oh
This
yeah.
is the vintage one because the new formulation does not smell the same.
Yeah, it's got the
I
the
haven't
little
smelled it in years, but
the uncollared old school crimped
yeah.
atomizer. It smells just like you would remember, man. It's really really nice.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I wore that in the early 2000s. Sorry,
That's okay.
that's what I do.
This is what happens every time.
Yeah.
We're used to it.
So now going back and forth comparing, I'm getting more of a soapiness from the Lamberwood.
Mm.
The lavender.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
yeah, it's really lovely. So Stan, if you're still listening, bud, I think the Lamberwood has enough masculinity for you.
They both do. I
It
think.
smells so much better on me.
Rude.
Well, it's just because my skin is more leathery than yours.
Oh, okay. I'll take that excuse. Careful.
I know. Sorry, I'm going to keep bumping. All right, what's next? What was the
Let's
third
do the
one?
citrus bloom.
Okay.
Now this one, when we were spraying it, you remember it was like a lemon lollipop. That's what it made me think of.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
She's always having to remind me what we've done.
Of
and
the
what I-
conversation we
yeah.
had. I'm gonna put it on me.
I mean, this is lemon. This is lemony, sweet.
I honestly don't even know how you did this.
Hard candy lemon style.
Because I've never smelled a lemon that smelled like this. A lemon fragrance.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
It's a lot of the. I mean, it's very tart. Like it makes like I. Oh, that's good on you. Yeah, that's good.
Finally.
That's really.
One I get to
You
have.
can have that one.
Fine.
It's a very bitter tart. Like I can, it makes me salivate a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Kind of hard candy feel to it. Yeah. What are the note? What? Well, I won't make you do it all.
It's a very simple formulation. It's lemon. It's lemongrass. Bergamot. What else is in there? There's lavender in there as well. There's a little eucalyptus in there.
Well, you did something to this because I remember we were outside. I think when I first
lasted forever.
I couldn't believe how long, like hours and hours and hours and hours. The actual lemon part of it, which again is unusual because lemon as an essential oil as a top note. It lasts like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. And Noah's skin is notoriously bad for fragrance.
And you literally don't even list a base note.
No.
You just have 3 top notes: citrus, lemongrass, bergamot, and a middle note of lavender.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow it still lasted forever. I mean, if you love fresh lemon fragrances, that's a no-brainer.
Uplifting, joyful, happy, comforting.
Yeah, it really is. Now I'm getting there's little bits of green aspects that are coming out of the smoky vanilla.
Not on me.
No?
Yeah, the oak moss. Yeah.
Oh, there's oak moss. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
These don't smell like first releases.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, these smell really sophisticated and professionally done.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I know you gave yourself a couple years, obviously, before you did a release, which helps. But I mean, you've smelled enough to know that sometimes small independent work, especially early releases, they have a kind of unfinished or rough around the edges sort of vibe to them, and there's none of that in here. These smell really sophisticated.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That means a lot coming from you guys.
Yeah. Well, what came next after Citrus Bloom and Smoky Vanilla?
So then it was La Santal Blue, Lavande Rose, and Tangerwood.
Okay, here's Santal Blue.
Do you want
me to spray it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was the Santal Blue inspired by?
So this was inspired by a trip that I took when I went to Morocco. And if you've ever been to, it's called Le Jardin Majoel, which is like the garden in the Yves Saint Laurent house there.
Mm-hmm.
And he has these, like all the planters, all the cement planters there, they're painted this like very beautiful electric blue. And so when I went there and I saw this blue, I thought, oh, this is like such a beautiful blue. And I immediately I thought of, what kind of scent would like go well with this. And so I wanted to create like this kind of aquatic, kind of sandalwoody, like Mediterranean vibe type of fragrance. And so that was the inspiration behind that. And that's also why it's housed in the blue cement vessel.
Something flying around trying to get you? Oh, he's looking for a bottle.
Nice.
So that's why.
Do the bottles come out of the containers?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
They do. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's not an insignificant added expense that you've done there.
It's not.
Again, it's little things like this that maybe people just kind of gloss over and don't realize. But so this is lovely. This feels like the most modern, right, of the ones we've smelled so far. It's got that that familiar, modern, fresh, aquatic blue ambroxan. There's got to be ambroxan in here, right?
Yeah, there is. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep, there. But it remains very unique in its take. It doesn't feel like an old trope. It's not like Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel. Um, hmm. Yeah, so this is for the lovers of like more fresh and blue,
Mm.
hence the name.
I love it. I think Jake would love it.
Jake would love that.
My son would love it.
It's like a more mature, classy version of the familiar blue
Yes.
DNA. The sandalwood really classes it up.
Okay, and then we have Tangier Wood. What was this one inspired by?
So I also love like fresh scents, but this one was like an experiment. I wanted to like work around with tangerine and like oud and like these like more heavier notes and see if I could like brighten them up. And so it was like there was no like real plan like there was with the other ones. This was like I felt like I needed another scent to complete the trio.
Yeah.
And like, you know what, I'm gonna just experiment with these notes and see what.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, this one is really nice.
This is the most unique so far. This one defies genre. It's a fresh, crisp. Go ahead, Quentin.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those fragrances for me that I get I get mixed reviews. I mean, I get people that either love it or
I could see that. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because it is unfamiliar. It's a unique combination of notes. It's a very crisp, clean, bitter orange with this oudy kind of undertone. What else you have in there? Gardenia and neroli, tangerine, black pepper, vanilla, musk, and oud.
I kind of think people would have to be idiotic to not like that. Honestly, I feel like it's very nice profile.
It is.
Maybe you wouldn't want to put it on, but I enjoy smelling it.
Well, there's something, and this is a compliment. This is something that I like. There's this slightly kind of medicinal, this clean medicinal sort of feel, like an apothecary sort of.
What is that coming from?
Feel. I don't know. Maybe just the combination.
Maybe the neroli.
Maybe, yeah. What are you able to say? What kind of oud this is in here?
That was from, I believe it's from India. I believe that was
okay. Yeah. Like an Assam oud?
Maybe idiotic is too strong of a word.
That is a pretty strong word.
Inexperienced news. Yeah. Chris Talk says, voting for that for the brand slogan. You'd be idiotic not to like it. It is really good.
There's a astringent is the word I'm looking for. That's a better word than medicinal. Do you get that kind of astringency? This very kind of biting.
It's like
acidic kind
perfect for hot weather.
Yeah, it really is. It's a fruity oud. It's a really unique take on fruity oud.
Like when what season do you like to wear it in?
Summer, fall. Yeah.
Summer in New York, man. Mm-hmm. Got to cover up the smells of New York.
Yeah.
This is a good way to do it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't think I have the third one. What's the trio? The third one?
Lavande Rose.
We don't have that one.
No?
No, we have Fleur Essence, and we have Introvert, and then the Extras.
You don't have new oud?
We don't.
No.
It didn't come in your...
You gave us all of these things for free at the Scent Explorer. So you probably just gave us what you had left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And one of them... Oh, it's here, the Extras.
We have a double of them.
Yeah, we got... The box had 2 Imperiums.
Which wasn't a problem.
No, because it's really, really good. And what was the third one?
This is Provenance.
Okay, so we don't have Ode.
We don't have Odes in New York.
We don't have Ode in New York either. That's all right. We'll order them. We'll jump on and order them.
Yes. Why are you sliding them down? I put them up so that you can pull them out and easily.
The show was so crazy, so things got like a little mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a zoo.
At the show, Did we give you stuff that you specifically liked? Maybe you didn't. Maybe the ones we didn't give you was because you didn't
I
really like.
doubt that. That would be very unlike me, Quentin.
You are so kind. You just said, "Here's everything that we have," and we came on the very last day towards the end.
I do remember it was all you. It was literally all you had left.
Yeah.
Because there was one that I did like. What's the one that you do that is actually quite vintage and reminiscent of like Koros? There's a very distinct kind of civet or animalis note in it.
Provenance or Imperium. You have those two though, no?
Yeah, we have those.
Oh well, we have okay. So
Oh,
maybe
you're probably thinking Eau de New York then, because that one has ambergris in it.
it has ambergris in it. Okay. Imperium has ambergris as well. Okay, maybe that was it. I remember I smelled one of them and I was like, "Wow, this smells like old school, like a modern take on old school Koros."
Do you want to smell Imperium or?
Well, let's finish the EDP line.
Okay, so let's do Introvert.
So again, trying to help people understand and kind of capture some of the essence. These are sophisticated.
That's so
These
good.
aren't, again, it's how am I trying to put this? It's not like you have to be like some kind of like snob or expert nose to appreciate these, but a lot of people will ask us, and especially younger people, like, what's a good entry level indie brand?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't entry level. These aren't.
You have to have smelled some things.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, these aren't like casual clubbing fragrances for people who are mostly familiar with like Jean Paul Gaultier, and there's a level of sophistication. Going, God dang it, that's good. What are we smelling? Holy Jesus!
Introvert.
Oh, this one speaks to me both in name and scent.
So there's a reason why. I mean, we didn't talk about this, but there's like a lot of the names have like several different meanings.
Okay, tell us.
So like introvert for example, when you break the word up, intro, and then vert, which is the French word for green, right?
Right.
So the vert is there because there's a lot of green notes. There's vetiver, there's a lime note. There's a lot of green notes in that fragrance. But then when you put the two words together, it sounds like introvert.
Yeah.
So the idea was like creating this fragrance that just made you just uplifted you on your own. Like it just made you feel complete by yourself.
That's really
like
nice.
Within a story.
That smells like it's almost. I mean, if somebody told me that was a mostly natural fragrance, I would not be surprised. I mean,
that one is, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it smells very natural. So guys, the top notes on this one are peony and gardenia. The middle notes are citrus. You got some kind of trick, man. Good for you. You figured something out, because that's now two fragrances where you've got citruses that last way more than they're supposed to.
Amanda and Rebecca, I think you would like this one.
And then the base notes are vetiver, vanilla, and musk. Yeah, this is really, really lovely.
Smell how yummy the citrus one is drying down on me.
So guys, that's the lemon one. It's been probably 20 minutes since you sprayed it. It literally smells like you just sprayed it.
Mm-hmm. But it also smells very cozy underneath.
It really does. Yeah.
Here's the smoky vanilla on me. No. Okay, fine. You can have it. That oak. You don't like the oak moss on me, probably.
Probably.
Like that's my fragrance note.
That's my note.
Yeah.
God, that's so like light and clean and fresh.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, again, this is introvert that I'm smelling here. Sorry, everybody, because I know we're jumping around a lot.
I'll spray it on my wrist. You want to spray it on your arm?
The introvert?
Yeah, see what it smells like?
Let's compare. Who's going to win?
Sorry. I missed.
Really, really, really well blended. Really well blended.
That's fantastic. It's better on skin.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
Cool.
God, let me smell on you.
It smells almost spicy on me.
It does. It might be better on you than on me, sadly.
It's
pretty darn good on me.
It's good on you too, actually. No.
We can share that one.
We could.
There's no rule that says we can't share.
Except that I get very territorial about my fragrances sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, oh, okay. I don't want to keep going on and on. All right, what's the next one?
Fluorescence. Which I get the double entendre of this one
Yeah.
too. Cool. I love that. I love clever people.
I know, right?
I mean, now that when people start hearing about it, they'll start to be like, "Oh, I wonder what that name means." You know?
Yeah. All
This
right,
is cool.
so top notes here are peony, rose, jasmine, and geranium. Middle notes are pomegranate, and citrus, and a base of amber, cedar, vanilla, and musk. So more rose forward, this one.
Mm-hmm.
You've used peony now in a couple. You don't
In
see
that
one.
in that collection, yeah.
Oh, that's the blue.
I feel like this is a floral that you would like on you.
I do.
Although it's super unisex.
Yeah, for sure it is.
But I know how you are like into florals now.
I am into florals. I'm hitting my floral
He's
era.
been wearing my vintage Giorgio.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever smelled that fragrance?
I think so. I have to see the
It was
pack.
very popular with our parents, like 80s and 90s.
Okay, so just sitting with this one for a while. Definitely, like the cedar and vanilla components start to come through.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time. I don't know pomegranate real well as a note, so it's hard for me to place. But there is a fruity.
Yeah, you get that fruitiness, like not in the beginning, but like it starts to come through, like
Yep.
as
Yeah,
those.
exactly. Yeah, I'm starting to get it more now. Did we? Is that the one we sprayed? That is this one? No, this was introvert.
Oh, yeah, I didn't spray on you. Rebecca wants to know, do you sell samples or just the entire sample set?
It's just the sample set.
The set. Okay.
It's worth it.
With the
That was Rebecca.
Or Rebecca.
With the discovery set of that main collection there, you do get, I believe it's 25% off once you order a full size bottle.
Oh, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's basically like the discovery set is basically free once you order a full size bottle.
Guys, introvert is just, it's one of those fragrances. What's this?
Introvert.
Yeah. You just want to like fall into it the way you do like a comfortable mattress or like a big bean bag, and you just want it to like swallow you up and you just don't want to leave.
Oh my goodness, what a
It
metaphor.
makes you feel good when you're alone, right?
Yeah.
God, it's so comfortable. Wow, well done. On here we're testing dry downs. This was Lamberwood.
Yes. How's that smell?
Yeah, I mean that holds up really nice.
Mm-hmm. And that one is
The smoky. Now I'm getting more smokiness is coming through now on the
Yeah.
smoky vanilla dry down.
yes.
Mhm. Yeah, you'll get those
Amanda wants to know,
notes.
how did you decide which fragrances to make first when you first started? What was your strategy?
How did I decide which fragrances to make first?
Well, like when you first sat down and said, all right, time to make a collection, how did you go? Were you like, I need to make this style, or were you literally just,
honestly,
trial and error, seeing what worked?
Yeah, there was no rhyme or reason in the beginning. It was just, honestly, I was creating things that I liked. It was less about what I thought other people would like and more about what resonates with me, and hopefully people will like them too. I feel like as my work has progressed, I now think more about, everyone else outside of myself. But initially,
you make what you like.
Yeah, if you make what you like and you're creating authentically, then
Yeah, but like initially it was like, oh, I like this, so I'm gonna work with these notes, and now it's more so kind of a bit of a broader creative process.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Let's smell the extras.
Did we get everything?
We got the ones. Yes, we did.
Well, I'm sad you guys don't have Old New York. I would have sent that to you.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. I also see there's another one online called New Oud.
Yeah, you don't have that one either. That's a good one.
No. Is that a more recent release?
No, that I launched that one the end of the beginning of 2023.
So maybe just kind of, even though we don't have it here to spray, how would you compare it to Tanger Oud, right? They're both oud and citrus.
Honestly, that's probably my favorite. I was wearing when I launched it. I was wearing that one the most.
The new oud.
Yeah.
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 So that one is jasmine, geranium, and lavender. Grapefruit in the middle. See, this guy's doing something sneaky. And then the base notes are Amiris, Palo Santo, oud, and musk. So that sounds classy as hell.
Yeah, that one was like my go-to year-round fragrance for a long time.
Yeah.
I
What
still
has it been replaced with?
lately Imperium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good segue.
Well done.
Let's do it.
Let's smell Imperium.
So Imperium was this entire collection. I call it the Empire Collection, but that whole collection was kind of designed around the idea of like New York. You know, New York is known as a very expensive city. You need money to play here, and so I wanted to work with fragrances that kind of gave you this kind of expensive or like money-like feel. So Imperium, we created some some accords that kind of smelled like $100 bill has a very distinct smell to it. And so we were playing with different notes to kind of like recreate that smell, but not so like not exactly like that, but like a more sophisticated version of what that interpretation would be like, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
I can see why you would want to wear this a lot to kind of step into that energy.
Yeah, and
And
so
live in that energy.
So the top notes of Imperium are spices, amber, paper, ink, and clay. The middle notes are Italian cypress, citrus, and green roasted coffee. And the base notes are Madagascar vanilla, tonka bean, musk, gaiac wood, ambergris, and labdanum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean,
I really like that one.
Yeah, that's really nice. There's definitely, the ambergris is understated. It's wait. It comes through as kind of a clean, salty, ambery feel. It doesn't. In other words, It doesn't feel animalic to me per se. For those who might be put off by animalics, and the overall impression is very fresh.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a fresh, woody, musky. It's not overly musky, but it's a fresh, woody type of scent.
Okay.
Green. I feel like it's pretty green as well.
So good.
Shit, that's good on me. It is really green. The greenness comes through on skin very, very well. What are you doing for the green? I guess the cypress and the roasted coffee you have listed as green.
It's the paper, man. It's the green.
Yeah.
So do you get that like
it smells like Benjamin's,
right? It kind of it gives you that impression, right?
It does. That's cool.
What a wonderful scent. I mean, there's definitely a progression here. Like now I smell that and I come back and I smell, the lamberwood, which is very lovely, but this is orders of magnitude more complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stan is asking if the discovery set carries everything, including what we were talking about now. There's two separate discovery sets, right?
So there's two. There's the Empire one, and there's the main one on the website. And so if you get both of those, they definitely include every single fragrance that I have at the moment.
Yes. Okay. Let's do Provenance, which is Angie's favorite.
Let me see. Are they on a different link? Yeah, the extras are a different.
Well, if you're on the website, if you go to there's a little area that says Discovery Sets.
Yeah,
they should be there.
Yep. Okay. And your extras are pricier, just so everybody knows, but still within the realm of, high end, artisan perfume.
You're getting a 40% fragrance load in the extraits.
Okay.
Ooh.
And obviously also really high in naturals.
Mm-hmm. What a fun fragrance. This is really fun.
So Provenance is a top of sweet amber, Cocos nucifera. What is that?
That's just a coconut.
Okay, coconut. We're really classy people. And citrus. Oh, wow.
Isn't that fun?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Middle notes of rich. Damn.
The rain.
Having a storm here.
Thunderstorm.
Ah,
Rich spices, blonde tobacco leaf, spiced rum, and leather, all of which come through. And then the base is musk, Madagascar vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin, and exotic woods. Wow.
That's very bougie.
Yeah, that is. Do you put that on? Or you want me to put that on?
I think it's more of a you fragrance
I agree.
because of the very natural tobacco.
Yeah, it is a great, that blonde tobacco note is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. This introvert, I still don't want to take my nose off that. All right, ooh. Okay, as soon as I spray it and it lands on skin, we did say tonka, I assume. Yeah, a lot of tonka starts coming through. The tonka vanilla and benzoin really, really jump. Wow. That's a classy dude frag right there.
and so that one provenance was like I was talking about like New York being this city, very expensive city to live in, and so each of those fragrances in that collection was kind of like different time periods of New York. So provenance was like in the early days when New York was kind of becoming what it is known today, and so that's why you have a lot of those kind of spicy leather and spirits in that fragrance, because back when New York was when you used to get like a lot of different shipments from other countries that would come at the ports, you would get these like all these different smells and mixes of different things that are being imported here, and so it was trying to create something that kind of felt old but new, that kind of had like this old money feel to it.
Historical New York. That's very cool. Like
so
the Vanderbilt era.
Yeah, so that was that one. And then the one that you don't have, Old New York, was probably more of the most modern one of those three, and that was just more like a gritty kind of party fragrance. You're out on the town in New York City having a good night. You're in the city that never sleeps with all the lights going, and this very like kind of fun, boozy, gritty fragrance. And so that one has notes of.
I got the notes here. I'll read them to folks.
Okay.
So this is Ode to New York, the one we don't have. It's red apple, French lavender, and rose, aged whiskey, papyrus, citrus, and sativa. And then base notes are frankincense, benzoin, and exotic woods. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I really like the provenance quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
What a wonderful, clean, spicy profile.
Thank you.
Fresh, spicy. None of your stuff sits heavy. Yeah, there's nothing that's weighted down, even though you've got a lot of vanilla and labdanum and that kind of thing. I have a hard time deciding which of these would.
I'm sure you will figure it out.
Yeah.
Got both of our dogs in here because of the storm. You're okay.
Sorry, dogs do you have?
They are part husky, part Malamute, and part wolf.
Oh wow, I love that. That was like my favorite dog growing up.
Really?
Like I wanted a husky so bad.
Yeah. They're great. They're really wonderful dogs.
They're awesome, and they talk
a little
lot.
They're a little bit chaotic.
Yeah.
I have 2 pitties.
Oh, if I didn't have these two, I just absolutely love pit bulls. I just think they got the sweetest dispositions. They're so wonderful.
They are.
Yeah. So, what's next on the horizon for you? Well, I guess let me back up. When were the most recent releases?
So I just released that Empire collection at Sin Explorer. That was the very first time that anyone experienced them, and so those are the newest 3 in the collection. But I have worked on 3 more that I'm finalizing now. I mean, the formulations are pretty much finalized. I should be getting the packaging in my office any day this week, and
congrats.
Yeah, and so those I have 3. Not this year. I'll probably do like a like a, what do you call it? Like a test or something, or like a uh,
Trial.
trial, or like a pre-order or something at maybe the next Scent Explore, or maybe
Okay.
in Cannes or something. I'm not sure, but um, yeah, I will let people try them this year. They probably won't be available until next year this time.
Cool. Okay.
But
Excellent.
they're, I mean, I personally think they're probably some of my best work. Um, and so
Can you
I'm
tease any of
excited.
them?
Can I what?
Can you tease any of them or tell us any like little bit of details?
Hints.
So they are going to be great for spring and summer.
Yeah.
There's one that in the trio that I do feel like will be great all year round. Um, they're definitely going to be very complex. Um, and yeah, that's about.
Yeah.
That's
That's all you
all.
want to say.
That's
That's
okay.
fine.
But stay tuned. I mean, I think you guys will like them. And of course, as soon as I have samples and stuff ready, you guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys at an Explorer
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we do
shows.
plan to be there again.
Yes. We'll be
But
back.
Yeah.
if you don't, we'll make sure you guys get to experience them.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. And we, if you will allow it, we can do another one of these and just talk about them.
Amanda says you can test on her. She's very noble, that Amanda. She's very, very
I am.
selfless. Yeah. So, when you talk to people about your brand, um, and this is curiosity, but also, struggling to find words sometimes. What is it that you're trying to communicate about the brand ethos? Like, who is it for? What does it stand for? Whether that's you as a company or the scent profiles, it's like, who do you envision these for? I don't imagine you envision them for, again, for early 20s people brand new to fragrance, but I could be wrong. Maybe you're like, they're for everybody.
I mean, that's it's a great question. Um, I would say that I envision them to be for anyone who enjoys fragrance, but I definitely feel like I create fragrances for someone who is probably in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s,
Yeah.
and older.
Yeah.
I do think that my scents are probably a little bit more sophisticated and a little bit more uh, complex
Yeah. For
than what's
sure.
out there.
Yeah.
And so definitely have to be like a lover of scent, and have an appreciation for it to really understand it. But anyone who wants to try it, I mean, it can be for
Sure. It's
anyone.
not off limits to anyone. I mean, that's for sure.
I think
They're all very wearable.
the Empire collection for me really feels like the most targeted of all of these scents. Where, I mean, I would assume you're people who are like up and coming, very trying to be successful, very well put together, are going to be the kind of people that are be interested in this because they're going to want to step into that kind of New York vibe.
Mhm. Yeah.
You have to be from New York to get it, like the hustle mentality, I guess.
I think my favorite. It's close. It's really close. My top two, I know for sure, are actually Imperium and Introvert.
Yeah.
Okay. So you like
What's that?
you're more into like fresh, musky,
I
woody.
mean, in your collection,
Ironically, no.
yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff I like is more kind of deep, resinous, ambery, thick, heavy. But you've just got a profile here that just works. Those two, they really stand out to
He
me.
struggles with the fresh, actually. So the
Oh,
fact that he
really?
likes the fresh ones in
Yeah.
here is pretty fun.
Like, I don't think I own a single traditionally blue kind of fragrance. Smell the Imperial. No, that's Provenance. That's really nice.
That is really good. Where's the Imperium? The money one.
Let's hear.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Huh. They're good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. Do we
They're
have
awesome.
any questions for Quentin before we?
Yes,
Let him-
everybody on TikTok, do you have any questions? You want to check Instagram, see if there are any questions
Oh,
there?
Yeah.
Amanda says, well, one smells like money, so let's see. Yes, we have one question.
Does a formula need to be complex to be considered high-end or masterfully crafted? Good question.
What do you
No,
think?
I don't think it needs to be complex to be considered masterfully crafted. I mean, you can create a very simple formula that you know that smells different and smells beautiful
Yeah.
and has all those elements. So I just think it just depends on the notes that you're using and how you're blending it and your entire process.
Yeah, and for those who might not have familiarity, having a complex smelling fragrance doesn't necessarily require a longer, lengthier, complex formula. In fact, for many perfumers, the mastery comes in the simplicity. In
Hmm.
formulas that might only be 30 to 40 lines long, that are combined in such a unique and precise way that they create a scent that feels more complex than the recipe might indicate, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, somebody in here, Laura, says some of the best food is simple. It's probably the same for scents.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But these are complex fragrances. I mean, they are. Um, we've said this a number of times. There were only maybe three, maybe four houses that really stood out to us at Scent Explorer as doing something relatively unique with good kind of maturity and complexity. Your house was one. La Folies du Parfum
Your neighbor
was another. We've got folks right across from you. And those, there's you here, and then there's their fragrances. The three of which that I really like the most, all done by Bertrand Duchefort,
Mm.
right? And you could have snuck one of these into their house, and I
Oh,
wouldn't
really?
have known. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
oh yeah, I mean these are outstanding. And
Thank
then the
you.
other one was
Oman Luxury.
no Black Cliff, and
Yeah.
Oman was in there, yeah, too,
Yeah.
and Black Cliff, yeah. So again, just to kind of help people have a sense of like where these slot. I mean, these are beautifully crafted.
No. So Stan is asking a question about longevity.
I mean, I would expect
that.
normal. I mean, none of these are beast mode feeling fragrances, but to me, that's not a bad thing. I don't always want.
What do people give you for feedback?
So the extraits, they will last on your skin about 4 to 6 hours. On clothing, it will last all day. Like you'll have to wash it out of your
Sure.
clothing.
Sure.
And
And they're all light in color, so
Since
they're
we-
not going to stain your.
Since we have 2 bottles of Imperium,
yeah, spray your shirt, and then I want you to tell me tomorrow if it's still there.
Yeah.
Great.
That means I'm washing that shirt.
One ml
Keeping
down.
it.
I will have it in my medium basket where
Yes.
it is.
He's got a medium basket of clothing. So Laura actually is asking, could you say any more about how the name of your house came about?
I finally
Sure.
I know I don't know the official. I finally figured out QH Quentin Hernandez.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got. I don't know where the rest comes from.
Part of it. So Qhue, the QH and Q stands for my initials, Quentin Hernandez, and the pronunciation Q is is the name that people called me since I was a kid. Just everyone called me Q. And then to kind of add another element to it, the word hue is also in the name Q. And, hue pertaining to all the colors in the spectrum, and
Nice.
creating like this unity and things like that. And every color has its own, unique story. And so that was kind of the whole embodiment of the brand, was that each fragrance that we put out has its own individual story and has its own meaning. And so that's where the whole name comes from.
Awesome.
Who do you have helping you out with it? Is it just you, or who else helps you?
In terms of the business side, it's me. I've done all of my packaging design. I've done all the formulation. All the creative stuff I've done myself.
Yeah.
But I have people that work with me, and I have um, like contractual people that have done stuff for me as well. But in terms of the stuff that you see, the visual aspects, it's all been me.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you doing like all the hands-on blending and bottling and packaging, or you got help with
Not
that?
anymore. When I first launched, yes,
Yeah,
and that was a nightmare.
I can't imagine. Well, I can't
Um,
imagine.
but no, now I have a fulfillment company that does all the bottling and making sure everything is macerated and
Awesome.
packaged and all that stuff. But yeah, when I first launched, I mean, you have to, starting any business, you have to, wear many hats. And so
Got
when
to bootstrap it.
I was mixing and I was, um, bottling everything and packaging and everything. And it just honestly, it's something that I think as a business owner, you should know how to do or try, but it was just, it's a lot of work,
Yeah.
and once we grew a little bit, I was like, okay, I have to find companies that can do this part of the work because I can't spend hours on end doing this. It's just too much.
Yeah. Facts.
Well, good for you for figuring out the entrepreneurial part. I mean, that's a huge obstacle for people, I mean, we did an interview with Hiram Green recently, and he's exceptionally well known and very successful, and it's hard. He talked about running into that ceiling where it's like you've grown enough that you're like swamped and busy, but have you grown enough? It takes a lot of savvy and know-how to kind of make the leap and take that next step to where you free yourself up from being in the daily grind of it. It's like, it's one thing to love what you do. It's not like I always see those videos of poor old Andy Tower, one in his 70s, filling every bottle of Laird de Desert Americaine by himself and putting all the damn stickers on by himself. I'm like,
still doing it.
I'm like, Andy, get yourself some help, man, for God's sake.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's you have to. I mean, in order to like focus on other parts of the business that really needs the attention, you have to give that part of work to some people that can do that and be professional at it. For me, I mean, I said before that I'm like a stickler for like things being done a certain way. And so when I was doing it, it was like, okay, if the label wasn't put on correctly, I was like, okay, start all over. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And it was just too much waste and too much money being put into something, put into it and not coming out the way that I wanted it to. And so now I have a company that
outsource it.
Yeah, and now it can be done perfectly. And if something is not right, I have someone to blame.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Amanda said she ordered a sample set, but accidentally it's being shipped to our house. So, we'll be sending it back to her.
That's a strange thing to have happen, Amanda.
And Chris Talk says, in a few weeks when they'll arrive, they'll be like, what samples?
They'll show up to Amanda missing New Oud and Ode to New York.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Quentin, let us know how else we can help spread the word.
Yes.
I mean, this is awesome stuff, and it's our favorite thing to do is to help introduce people to really, really good indie work that isn't, that doesn't yet have a huge presence out there and isn't in all the retail shops, and again, especially at the value that you're offering. It's like, wait for us to get all the bottles, but you might think about raising your prices.
I mean, honestly, what you guys have done so far, just highlighting the brand and talking about it has been, very appreciative. So I'm very happy that you guys have done already. So I'm very thankful.
It's easy to do. I mean, it's authentic. This is great stuff. People are going to love getting their noses on this. So
thank you. And that means a lot to me, because I always said, like, I want the reviews to be authentic. If you love it, I want it to be authentic. I want it to be that I'm like, you're just saying this because I'm hiring you or whatever. But like, your authentic review it means a lot to me. So thank you for that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Quentin, for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. And go get yourselves a sample set.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. It was nice to
Thanks
see you
so
again.
much.
All right, Quentin.
Bye, everybody on TikTok.
Take
All
care.
right. Thank you.
Bye.